What's going on, guys? Today is Monday, May the 7th. Hope that you had an awesome weekend. I also hope that you have a great attitude coming into Monday, because your attitude today will determine what type of day you have. And remember, Mondays count too. So get the most out of today. Make today work. Make today count. And you got to have a good attitude in order to pull that off. Today I want to talk to you. I got a direct message on Instagram from a student here at Woodmont who wanted to know, Coach, I've made a mistake. Now what do I do? Listen now, everybody makes mistakes. There was only one perfect person to walk this earth, and he certainly wasn't me. But everybody you see makes mistakes. So whether that mistake is in your personal life, whether that mistake is in your social life, whether you just said something that was not a good idea at the time, everybody makes mistakes. So don't think that don't make this a bigger deal than it is. I know that I have certainly made my share of mistakes. I make them every day. And that's why one of the reasons why I start my day in prayer and I end my day in praise, thanking the good Lord for letting me live another day, and hopefully living the right way and doing the right things, making good decisions. But the first thing I'll tell you, if you make a mistake, number one is you have to admit it. You can't pull a Bill Clinton and put it off and ignore it and think that it's simply going to go away, because it's not going to go away. If you make a mistake, as soon as you realize you make a mistake, you have to admit it. You have to admit it to yourself. And once you admit it to yourself that you've made a mistake, then you kind of set the plan in place to get that mistake taken care of as best you can. So number one is to admit it. Number two, you got to correct it. When you make a mistake, simply put, you got to own it. You got to wear it, and you got to correct it. How do you do that? Certainly not by text messages. Certainly not by emails. If you make a mistake, you go see that person and you ask them if you can talk to them, and you look them eye in the eye and you be as honest and as genuine as possible, and you say, hey, listen, I don't know what I was thinking, but man, I made a huge mistake and I hope that you'll forgive me. So by admitting it and then owning up to it immediately and doing that in person, it gives you a better opportunity to save that relationship, correct that mistake, and move forward. The third thing I think you do when you make a mistake is you got to learn from it. Because if you don't learn from it, it's going to happen again. And so by learning from it, you can hopefully prevent that it would ever happen again. That's one of the things as you grow up, as a sign of you maturing as a person and becoming an adult, you learn from your mistakes. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And the fourth thing that you got to do, you got to find a way to rise above it. You got to find a way to rise above it. You got to deal with it, admit it, deal with it in person, learn from it, and then you got to deal with it. You got to move on. You got to move on. You got to keep going. You got to find a way to keep moving forward. You know, if you have a navigation device, a GPS, you can put in a destination, and you know what? If you miss a turn, if you get it a minute, it'll recalculate. Well, guess what? When you make a mistake, that's just your GPS recalculating. It's going to give you another way to get to the same destination. There's a lot of different routes, but when you make a mistake, you just got to recalculate for a second. And that's why your windshield in your car is always bigger than your rearview mirror, so you can worry and focus, not worry, but focus on what's ahead of you and keep moving forward while only glancing at the past and learning from your mistakes. So I hope that you have an awesome Monday. Admit it. Correct it in person, learn from it, and then rise above it. Find a way, keep swimming. The best is yet to come. If you have to think about it, it's wrong. Have an awesome, awesome Monday.